Okay, what is going on, you babbling Bulbasaur? Coming at you with my first take on Lost Tina in the Temporal Forces Rotation format. And of course, with Temporal Forces and Rotation coming up, there's going to be a lot of new cards you're going to need to craft on PTCG Live. So if you need any codes to get credits, then PTCGL Store is the place to go. Check them out, PTCGLstore.com. They got everything you could need as far as codes could possibly go, so check them out. Link of course will be in the description, and of course you can always use code AzulGG over there as well to get yourself a discount. So of course it is Lost Tina, so we can get the Tinas out of the way here. Currently rocking the 3-3 Tina line here. I could see going up to a 4-3, to be honest. Just more ways to find the Tina V would be nice, especially because Battle VIP Pass rotated, which is one of our main ways to find the Tina Vs. Of course, we still have Nest Balls in here, and I've got I got the Ditto in here as well, which we'll talk about in a second, and that can help us get Tinas, of course. But yeah, 4 Tina V could definitely be something I see adding into here. Got the 4 Comfy, of course, as well. Build up our Lost Zone, draw support. Love to see it. The Greninja, of course, still have the Rating Greninja in here. Very powerful attacker and a draw support Pokemon. The one of Sable. I'm still sticking with the one of, like everyone was playing towards the end of this format that we're in right now. One of Cram, of course. And then, yeah, speaking of that extra way to potentially get the Lost Tina into play, I've got this Ditto with the transformative start. So this ability you can use during your first turn only, and if the Ditto is in the active spot, you may discard the Ditto and then search your deck for a Pokemon and replace it with the Ditto effectively. The reason this is good is because Buddy Poffin can only find Pokemon with 70 HP or less, and Ditto's got 60 HP, but Giratina has 220 HP. So this allows us to Buddy Poffin for the Ditto, get the Ditto into our active, turn it into a Giratina V, and then attach to the Giratina, and then use Abyss Seeking on that first turn through Buddy Poffin. I don't know if this is actually worth it, but it's a really cute idea, and I really like the idea of it. Also, it could allow us to help us get to a turn 1 Cram attack as well and get the Ditto. Ditto becomes a Cram, and then the Cram can attack from there. So it's got more uses than just getting the Tina V Star or Tina V into play into the active for an Abyss Seeking. And of course, because the Ditto does discard any cards attached to it when it goes to the discard pile, we couldn't like jet the Ditto into the active and then turn it into a Tina V, unfortunately. If we could do that, then this would be great in here. But because we can't do that, I'm not quite sure if this is worth the value. We could even go get like a Greninja with this and then switch the Greninja back to the bench potentially on a turn as well. So Ditto, I like the idea of it, but of course testing will need to be done to know how good that possibly is. The new addition to the deck is the Verian EX. His attack does 180 damage for 2 grass energy and a colorless, and then you can't use the attack on the next turn. And this is literally just a Charizard counter card. The ability says when we play it from our hand onto our bench, we can switch it into the active and then take any energy from any of our Pokemon and then attach it to it. So we don't play any ways to search this out of the deck. We don't play Ultra Ball, and if we Nest Ball to the bench, we can't use the ability. But if we do Nest Ball to the bench, we could always just attach a Grass Energy to it, and then go ahead and use a Mirage Gate and get it set up ready to attack. So if we're fortunate enough to draw into it, that's great, but if not, we can always just Nest Ball for it. So I think it is probably worth the inclusion as long as Charizard is popular enough, and Charizard definitely seems like it's popular enough in the current meta right now. So I do like the Verian edition until we see maybe a potential meta shift. For the supporter cards, got the usual suspects, nothing crazy, don't get too excited. 4 Colress, 2 Boss's Orders, but to be honest, for the other Gust effects that we have in here, I could see going down to 1 Boss's Orders. I definitely could see not needing the 2 Boss's Orders anymore. And then, of course, the Disruption supporters in the 2 Roxanne. I am currently going with that go-to Pokegear build as well, the 2 Pokegear in here instead of Iono. For the Pokemon search cards, I already talked about the Buddy Poffins, but of course we do also have 4 Nest Balls to go alongside them. Feels like you have to play 4 Nest Ball now that the Battle VIP Pass has rotated. And then I only have 3 Buddy Poffins in here for right now. Buddy Poffin, search your deck for 2 Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto your bench. 2 basic Pokemon, excuse me. I only have 3 of them in here for now. I could see going to a 4th, but obviously the value of these cards falls off really, really fast once we use like the first one to get our first two Comfies, or like a Ditto and a Comfy. Past that, we might not even want another Comfy in play. Of course, we can always play the card just to burn and get out of our hand, which is nice, but yeah, I'm not too sold on potentially playing the 4th one of these. I don't really know, to be honest. Currently rocking the 3, and that's at least comfortable. I could see going up to 4, and actually some of the Japanese lists have only been playing 2 as well, so I don't know how I feel about that. It's still really important to find your basic Pokemon on the first turn of the game, so I don't think I like the idea of 2, but I could see going up to 4, or maybe just staying at 3. For Mirage Gate, of course, how else are we going to power up our Giratina V-Stars? For the switch cards, Escape Rope is gone, so you don't even have that as like a choice anymore. I was not a fan of Escape Rope in Lost Tina in the current format. Currently rocking the 2-2 split though. 2 switch cards for a little bit of healing potential on our basic Pokemon, and then 2 switches in here so we can potentially move our Giratina V-Stars out of the active. It doesn't come up very often where we need to do that, and we also play Jet Energy, so that can kind of do that for us anyways, but I mean, yeah, you never really know. 2 Super Rod in the Tina build as well. 3 Super Rod has always felt really, really nice, but it's always felt hard to reasonably consider including it, I guess is how I'd put it. So you definitely need to at least play 2, but a third one definitely could be something I could see making room for. This is the other gust effects that I was talking about. We have the 2 bosses orders, but I think we could maybe cut a boss's orders to free up a space, to be honest, because I also have a counter catcher in here, of course, keep the counter catcher around. And now we've got to talk about the A-Spec here. I currently have the prime catcher in the build. Maximum belt is also a consideration. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. Currently rocking the prime catcher though. For those of you who don't know what prime catcher does, you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and then you switch one of your bench Pokemon with your active as an item card. Pretty powerful. No other restriction besides that. It's not like counter catcher we have to be behind on prize cards. I think it's probably the most powerful A-Spec in Giratina, but the maximum belt might be warranted if Charizard is popular enough. So currently in the prime catcher, and because of that, 1 counter catcher, 1 prime catcher, I could see us going down to 1 boss's orders, but currently rocking the 2-2 split right now. Another new addition to the deck is the, what is it called? Emergency board. Reduce the Pokemon this card is attached to retreat cost by 1, and if it has 30 or less HP remaining, it has free retreat. This of course combos super well with Comfey, always having a pivot in play to work with. I don't know if we need 2 of them. The when I was building the list, I came to being able to include 2 of them. So I was like, all right, I mean, it seems pretty good. You definitely want one of these in place at all times. Maybe 2 is correct. So currently rocking the 2, but could see maybe cutting 1 just to increase the switch cards by 1, or maybe even increasing the Jet Energy in this build specifically, because I did skimp on the Jet Energy a little bit because I did add the Escape board, because they are conflicting a little bit. When you Jet Energy to a Comfey and send it in the active, you usually retreat the Jet Energy off the Comfey, but if you have a board in play on a Comfey, then that Comfey can retreat because of that. I'm not 100% sure if I should have cut a Jet Energy or not, but I am down 1 Jet right now. But yeah, the emergency board just seems really good, so I'm not sure. Temple of Sinnoh, I guess, like, theoretically, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit further, like, the way you could combo it is if you have like an emergency board on a Comfey, you could send up that Comfey, use that flower selecting, retreat to another Comfey, use that flower selecting, and then jet up your Giratina afterwards. So I guess that still like works to like make sure you get full value out of your Jet Energy as the game progresses. So maybe there should be 4 Jet in this build still. I'm currently down to 3 because I want to play the 3 Water Energy. The only stadium in this build right now is the Temple of Sinnoh. I actually don't know if there should be any stadiums in this build. Temple of Sinnoh, I would definitely play if Lugia is popular enough. You want a way to get around the V-Guard energy on the Lugia V-Star so you can 1-hit KO with Lost Impact. And then you want a way to shut off the Gift energy so Roxanne plus Gift can potentially shut down your opponent towards the end of the game as well. And if Lugia is popular enough, I would actually go up to a 2nd copy of Temple of Sinnoh. But if it's not, 1 is probably enough if Lugia just kind of exists in the meta but isn't super popular. And potentially going down to no stadiums, maybe even just playing like a Lost Vacuum or something could be the way to go. For the energy count, we're now up to 4 Grass instead of the 4 Psychic. I only have 3 Psychic in here because we have the Verizian now. So up to the 4 Grass to help us out with that Verizian a little bit, down to the 3 Psychic like I just mentioned. And then I also currently have 3 Water in here because using Greninja is pretty cool and more outs to it is not bad if we feel like we have the room for it. And it kind of does feel like we have the room for it right now. So 3 Water Energy. And then only 3 Jet Energy. Should there only be 3 Jet Energy in this deck? I don't know. We might go up to 4. This would require definitely some testing on my part, which I haven't done anything yet. So this is my first take on Tina in the format. 0 games played. Ended up with 3 Jet. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to move Pokemon around here. We got the escape boards now, or the emergency boards. I keep calling them escape boards. That's an old card. Emergency boards. We got the boards. Jets. Switch cards. Do we need another Jet? I'm not sure. Jet's really, really good. And it still synergizes pretty well with emergency board. Like I said, send up a Comfey with emergency board. Use that flower selecting, retreat to another Comfey, use that flower selecting, then jet up your Tina, attack with your Tina. Hey, that seems pretty good to me. But 3 Jet for now. And that's it. First take on Giratina in the Temporal Forces rotation format. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Did I miss out on any big cards? Do you think there's something else I should have included? And is there a deck you'd want to see me do a first take on next before the set and rotation actually hit? Let me know, again, in the comment section down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.